recording. Are you ready, Irene?
I am. Our mission. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and allow for open dialogue. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are helpful to parents all around the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members who are not able to attend this meeting live can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Isabella. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We are so thrilled that she is here. And I know that you all want to get started, but I just want to tell you a little bit about Isabella because she's amazing. She's an advanced fourth generation intuitive, bringing her experience, gifts, and guides into the current moment in time. She is able to assist with the help of spirit and guides to connect with those around you in this life or those who have passed on to the spirit world. She is a clairvoyant who channels messages, bringing your unanswered questions to light and completing the circle of enlightenment to you. Her skills have also been used professionally with remote viewing, empath and psychometry, ability to obtain information from objects, excuse me, working with search and rescue groups, missing and endangered persons. She has been able to add her skills in locating missing persons and clues to their disappearance, helping professionals resolve cases. The ability to connect with the deceased and find their crime scene, points of recognition or markers, visualizing from the deceased those moments that provide insight to solve the case, have now become valuable assets to family and law professionals. With over 35 years of experience, she has assisted people to receive clarity and messages from departed loved ones. She has the gift of reading one's soul, the real true life essence of who we are and why we are here, explaining why we've chosen partners in this life and what past karmic ties link us to them now. As a healer, she shifts and removes negative energy stagnated within the relationship, giving clearer pathways to move forward in life. I have to say that Isabella is one of the nicest people that I've ever met, but also she is a shining light parent, and that's not in her bio. So she understands what we're going through. She also is one of the most amazing people that I've ever met because of the fact that she doesn't see people, she sees auras. She sees people who have departed. So she sees spirit. And so she sees them like you and I see each other. And I just love that. So she spends her whole day driving around with our kids in her car. She hangs out with them. She has fun with them. And she knows that they're having a fabulous time themselves. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Isabella Johnson. Welcome, Isabella.
Hi, that was so nice. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to do this, and I cannot believe we're already in December. This year was a little challenging for most of us, but it's almost over. I hope 2022 is a little bit better for us all. So as Elizabeth and Irene were saying, people in spirit are just around me all of the time. And today that was no exception. I think a little bit more because I, was going to be doing this group tonight. So little bit like I did last time, I decided to do this a little bit differently. I decided to kind of write down a little bit about the most, not annoying ones, but the most persistent ones that were kind of, and hope to get a lot more than this in. But the very first person that I want to make sure that I speak for, does anyone connect with a young child, boy? He felt to me between 9 and 11. This was the thing. He wouldn't share with me how he transitioned. But he kept saying he was a big kid. So when I first saw him, I'm like, oh gosh, you look about 14 years old. And he started laughing. He was just big for his age. And he had dark hair. Anyone connect with this young boy? He said he asked questions all of the time, all of the time. Why was his favorite thing to say? And I think that could be a little bit annoying to people because he would ask that so much. Anyone connect with him so far? Very close with his grandparents, he was telling me.
Okay, Erica is saying my son was 11, dark hair, got Curious George Award at school.
This might actually be him.
So Erica, Irene, can you find Erica and maybe unmute her? Is that possible?
Yes, I asked her to unmute. Hi, Erica, can you speak, please?
Let's see, is she?
Hi, Erica, just go ahead and talk. She
Hi,
unmuted.
Erica.
Hello.
I'm going to wait on Erica because her son was persistent all day. So I want to make sure that I can let him say hello.
Okay, so Erica, come on in.
Come on down.
If you can. So do you see her, Irene? Is she visible or is she?
No, I asked her to unmute and she is unmuted. So I don't know if she knows. All you have to do is speak, Erica.
Erica,
can you hear me?
I'm going to go through and see if I can find her.
That's interesting. That's the first time we've had that happen, huh? Let's see if anybody else can find Erica. This is like,
yeah, help us find Erica.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna pass the message on for this little. If she comes unmuted, I'm happy to go back. He just talked about how much he knew that he was loved, felt very close to the grandparents. I'm not sure if something happened with his head, but he seemed very disinterested in how he left. Like he was very confused at why I was asking that question. I told him that was so we could identify who he was because maybe a lot of people would be here. This kid had the sweetest heart, but very, very, very curious. And he kept saying, I didn't mean to annoy people with all the questions. I just wanted to know things. So he wants me to let the parents know he is doing beautifully. I didn't get the sense that he'd been gone for very long. It felt like this was going to be a very hard Christmas for his family, especially mom. He did talk about giving the great, great hugs. And he said sometimes he would hug her so hard that her arms would be down by her side. She couldn't pick up her arms at all. And he said to tell you he now makes up his bed without complaining and the sheets are clean. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but I want to make sure that I got those messages across. So Erica, I'm so sorry for your loss. Is she there by any chance yet or no?
Is, but she's speaking and she says it's not working. So she's she's
okay. Does she connect with the message?
Erica, could you just let us
connect
know
with the message
with them?
Yes.
Erica, could you just let us know if you connect with them? No, I'm echoing. Yes,
okay.
I do so much. She says yes, I do so much.
No,
okay.
I'm echoing.
Yes,
okay.
I
Perfect.
do so much. She says yes, I do so much. Okay.
Oh,
is that you, Erica? Perfect. So I think I see Erica.
Is that you,
Erica, do you have glasses on right now?
I think I see Erica.
Erica, do you have
glasses on right now?
Okay.
Yes,
Do-
you can't hear
So
me.
like this kid, I mean,
Okay.
from the moment I got
So,
up in the morning,
like this
what
kid,
you doing?
I
What you
mean,
doing
from the
now?
moment
What are you
I
going to
got
do
up
after
in the
that?
morning,
Why
what
is
you
this
doing?
dog?
What you
Just
doing
the
now? What are you
sweetest
gonna do
little
after
kid
that?
I've
Why
ever
is this
seen,
dog
and
a-
just
just
so
the sweetest
happy. It
little
didn't seem
kid
like what
I've
was
ever
going on
seen,
around
and
him.
just so
Just such a happy
happy.
kid.
Didn't seem like
And
what
the
was going
biggest
on
thing I
around
need to
him.
say is how
Just
much
such
he
a happy
loves
kid.
you and the family just so much. Was he very close to his grandparents? Was he very close to his grandparents?
Yes.
Could you give them a big hug for him? Could you give them a big hug for him?
Yes.
He loves you so much. I'm so sorry for your loss, Erica. He loves you so much. I'm so sorry for your loss, Erica. Yeah, there's a reverb on the audio, so I'm hearing myself twice.
It's because of Erica's, unfortunately, I think she needs to log out and log back on if she wants to be able to be on, because this has happened in the past. It was also doing the same thing to me, but you'll be fine now. But thank
Okay.
you, Erica, for being on here.
Well, the next person that came through was a male, and it was very close to this young boy. I'll describe him, 27 to 29. He talked about addiction issues that he had. Kind of a burly looking guy himself. He could be a little, he said people could see him and think he was a little gruff, but again, very sweet. I felt he was a brother, because he said he kept talking about what a big, good brother he was. And he said he helps other kids around, and he was very close with this young boy, who the kid that was asking questions, very close. So does anyone connect with this? It felt like overdose. 27 to 29. I felt under 30 for him. So maybe I could go to 26 on this one.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people, he kept showing me cars and being mechanical. I don't know how mechanical he actually was, because he showed me a car kind of sitting in a driveway. And listen, I'm not sure about this, but he kept showing me a flannel shirt on him. So is that enough for anyone to kind of know that's their son? And I don't feel very long ago for this young man either.
Okay, we have Gina saying my son was 25 and overdosed. Linda's saying my son passed of an overdose. He was 35. That's a little bit older.
This young man had brown hair or darker hair, certainly darker than mine. Kind of looked a lot like the other boy that was in there. Just thoughtful. This young man, very thoughtful. I don't think he was big on talking, that he was showing me, because he would kind of keep things inside. I think if people were to see him, they would not even realize there was any issues with this young man.
Oh my goodness, Garrett's 7th birthday is today. And he passed of an overdose. I think it might be Michelle Ziff. Is there any way that you could unmute Michelle for? Okay, wonderful. So
Hi, Michelle.
He was almost as persistent as the younger boy, literally almost as persistent. And he kept talking about what an exceptional brother he was. And it was genuine and authentic. And I'm sure his brother annoyed him or siblings.
Oh, so you're saying this was his brother?
No. It wasn't his brother, but the young boy, the first young boy, the little 9, 10, 11-year-old that came in, the man that was next to him started saying, no, he watches over him because he was such a good brother here. He was such a, so do you have do you have other children?
I have two other, I have two other children. I have two other boys, but his birthday's not today, but he died on his 27th birthday. That's why I was just saying.
Okay.
So maybe this is somebody else.
Was he mechanical, or did he think he could be slightly mechanical? Now, I'm not talking about rebuilding an engine or a car or anything like that, but he kept showing me he preferred to be outside or doing things outside.
No, you know what? He does help other kids that pass that way. And I know that, but he wasn't mechanical. So you know what? I don't want to waste your time. Let somebody else come through.
Oh, that's fine. It's better that we figure out who it is. It's better that we figure out who it is. So whoever this young man belongs to, he was polite. Just well-mannered. He just talked about these struggles. And he had a long struggle with addiction. He kept talking about, but that he was very peaceful over there. And the biggest thing was that his brothers or the siblings knew that he was still around them and how much he loved them. My gosh, he could have had a beard at some point, but I don't know if he was clean shaven or not. Just an exceptional young man. Anybody think we have it narrowed down at all?
we have
Gianna Robinson has a beard, or Wade.
Irene, what do you think? Let's see.
My message for that person is that your son is doing such exceptional things over on that side, really caretaking of others. Talked about the sobriety was all done, like, no, that very sober. I just feel this person was such a valuable part of the family, that this is not that all of our children are not, but this just felt like still devastating for everyone.
Okay, so Claire is saying it is
Yes.
Spencer, please unmute me.
I've asked Claire to unmute. Hi, Claire.
Okay. I'm
Claire.
pretty sure he struggled with addiction 12 years. You said mechanical and being outdoors. He was a landscaper, ranch manager type thing.
Could he fix anything? Like, even if it was just kind of rigging it up, could he fix anything?
Not really.
Okay.
Can you tell me any more about his struggle with addiction? And then maybe I
It
can
felt
nail it.
the struggle with addiction that he showed me was like a genuine struggle. He knew there was a problem. I'm not in denial at all about any of this.
Yeah.
Talked about, being open and honest about, like, it was a decade at least struggle with him.
Yes.
Do not get stuck on the fixing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about fixing
Absolutely.
anything. So if somebody shows me something, I'm very impressed with that. But just like the kindness and goodness of this young man's heart felt to me, and again, I'm not stuck on this, but maybe Midwest and Northwest part. Like, I don't know, like it wasn't Southern that he showed me. It felt a little bit cooler there.
Right. He was born in Missouri, lived in Missouri half his life.
Loved his family, devoted to them, and really wanting to just let everybody know how good he is and how, I don't want to cry, how much he knows he was loved.
He does.
And that was never a question. I don't feel that people enabled this young man at all. It was kind of like accountability, loving, unconditional loving, but I don't know that enabling him was something that a lot of people did. He just wants me to say how much he loves everyone and is so grateful for the experience here. No regrets with that. But for me, what he showed me was the relationship with people was really what he valued. It wasn't, I want to be successful. It wasn't, I want to have $1 million. It was just, I want to be a good and decent person. And he felt to me that that's exactly what he had been doing.
What resonated with me was that he's watching over his brothers. And I know he is because I've been told that.
The devotion, selfless devotion to these other siblings that felt younger to me. I mean, and he kept saying good relationship with them, that everybody knew what his problems and struggles were, but he was loved. He was just loved. I have a son that has addiction, active addiction. He's an alcoholic, and it is very challenging sometimes for the family to rally around that, and to not be accusations or get, it's a struggle. You do the best that you can. But this kid that that he knew he was loved, he knew everybody was cheering and rooting for him, and how much he loved. And I think, sorry, I'm not looking at him now, but was your son good at buying gifts for people for the holiday? Not a big gift, but was he thoughtful like that?
He was thoughtful, but holidays were always his worst addiction times. Yeah, but
there was just some thoughtfulness that if he'd heard mom say something that she saw in a store 3 months before, he would remember that. And you were important to him.
I know that.
You are priceless to him.
Thank you.
So I am so glad that Claire got to have messages from her son as well, but I think we need to just unmute Tracy because it sounds like Tracy definitely
could be.
This is her son as well. I know there's a lot of piggybacking going on. Irene, can you find Tracy to maybe unmute her? Let's see, Irene, you're muted. So let's see. I'm going to try to find Tracy.
Yes, type her in the search bar. My keyboard just died.
Oh, your keyboard just died. Oh dear.
Yep, I'm going to plug it in.
Okay, so let me quickly see if I can get Tracy up here. I'm sorry, Isabella. I know that you're.
It's fine.
Let's see, R-S.
And I think this young man had a real dry sense of humor as well too. real
Okay,
self-deprecating, dry sense of humor.
Tracy's though, 2 Tracy's. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and ask Tracy to unmute. Tracy, are you?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Hi,
now,
Tracy.
Hey,
Hi. Do you think this might be your son, or sounds like your son as well?
I know it is. I know it is.
Okay. Did your son like flannel? Like,
Yes.
did you have a flannel shirt of his, or did somebody save some of his clothes?
I've got all of his clothes.
Okay, because he kept talking about the clothes as well too.
Yeah.
I just really, I see a lot of young people in spirit, and everybody has a different story, and no two people have the same life experience. But it is very unique to see someone that age with such a heart of service and love and giving to other, selfless. And I know I'm repeating myself on this, but that was one of the first things I noticed, because he just showed up next to the other little boy and said, "Tell them I'm watching over him. Like, everything is okay here, because that's what I did when I was here." And just again, the love, the speaking of the love, and how he knew that he was always loved. The last thing that he said to me is, "Tell them I'm sorry. I didn't mean that to happen." And I think everybody would kind of know that this was unexpected for him as well too, kind of the end of the road, as the inevitable, but he'd always hoped he could get past that.
Yes, my only other son was murdered 3 years ago, and then Brad, he passed away from an overdose exactly a year later. So yes, I know it's him.
I would like to give you a free reading. One of these two ladies can give you my contact information. I'll try to do it this month. I would like to give you a free 30-minute reading before the end of the month. I'll find some time to do it. I'm so sorry for your loss. I am just
But that is Brad, very kind, and all he wanted
just
to
the
do,
kind. I mean, just
all he
I think if
wanted to
he had
ever
a
do was
dollar,
help
he wouldn't
people.
keep 50 cents of it. He'd give the whole dollar. Like that. It was
Absolutely.
I know I'm saying a lot of superlatives about him, but it was so impressive and so just uniquely unusual, because young people that age are, doing their own thing, or they have their own life, or mostly self-centered, which as it should be. But him,
At
I
his,
didn't feel that.
At his funeral, I mean, afterwards, I got letters from random people talking about his acts of kindness toward them. But he was a mechanic. He worked on cars. He loved to work on cars.
Did he
Yeah.
have some unfinished work here on vehicles?
I just got his car that he was probably maybe a week or two from finishing it.
He
and I
says,
just
"Thank you."
got it.
He's right here. He's telling me, he says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." There's something about unfinished work that is finished now. He said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." I think that's like your prized possession in the world. You'll never get rid of. Like, that's the Christmas present for you. He's literally, do not get stuck on this, because sometimes when they show me colors, it's just is that car light color?
It's a burgundy.
Okay, then don't worry about that. He's just showing me something light color. I think that's because I have light color cars. So I think that's why they sometimes show
think
me
he's
something that I
talking-
would recognize.
He's
So
talking about my car, and I know he's talking about my car because I went and bought a brand new white car the same day he died, and I didn't know he was dead. And I was trying to call him and tell him about the new car, but I didn't know he was gone. So I didn't think anybody could lose 2 children in a year.
oh, it is. I please reach out to me. I would love to give you this gift. I will make sure that you get it done this month. I will absolutely find the time. I will be praying for you every day. I am so sorry for what you're going through. I am 31 years out from losing my daughter, and those first couple of years, I just wanted to die. I think we all know what that feels like. It's you just do not know how you can ever function again, or there can be any goodness in the world again. Please look at me. 31 years, I've made it. I have lots of joy in my life. There's still sadness, and I still miss my child, and I've had other losses since then, but I don't regret being here. Not a day.
I don't know how you'll get through it. I just know that you will. And I think it will be from the help of your children in spirit. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Please reach out. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to move on. Again, I have several here that I want to get to, and then I just want to be able to talk to the people that I see here. I have a young lady. She looked to me early 20s, but I could put her 24, 25. She maybe be 23, but I'm not sure. She did talk about that she was a mom. And I think her family helped with the child. Does anyone connect with this? She said,
Let's see. Emily is saying that's my sister Leanne. And then we also have another, Lana is saying that her daughter was 24. She was
so this young lady, I'm just going to read what I wrote. She said she was a mom, but may not have been like, I feel like the family would have helped raise this child a great deal. She didn't show me a dad in the picture. She just showed me a lot of family. She said she could be kind of moody sometimes, and that patience was not always her strong suit. So I don't know if that helps. And she said she liked to lay on the couch a lot. And her child, I think it's a little girl, but again, don't get stuck on that. We kind of climb all over her. Anyone connect with this young lady? Early 20s.
okay, so we have Emily, whose sister Leanne has 2 kids, and my older sister has half custody and trying to get full.
I
Hillary,
think this is just one child that she just showed me one. And when she showed me close to when the young child felt toddler to me, could be slightly older, but I'm not talking about a 5-year-old here from what she showed me.
so
But
Hillary,
she showed me the baby kind of climbing on her.
okay. Hillary is saying that her family and her helped her raise the child. Let's see.
She also talked a little bit about body image with her. She didn't talk about eating disorder, but I'm not sure that wouldn't be far off. And there were maybe some substance issues with her.
Okay, and so Hillary, does that resonate? She says her son is almost 1.5. She did have those, she said. So maybe this is Hillary. Irene, are you able to search for Hillary and see?
I've asked her to unmute.
The main thing this young lady wanted to talk about was apologizing for not being as grateful as she should have been here for all the help that she got from her family.
Okay, so let's see. Hillary, can you say something so that
Hi, yes, how are you?
Oh, here
Hi,
you
Hillary.
go.
Does this
Okay.
sound like your daughter?
That sounds like actually my sister. I have my mom here with me right now.
Okay.
So,
Did your
yes.
sister have, what color hair did your sister have?
Well, she when she passed, it was more of a, I would say a darkish brown, almost. She liked to mess with colors.
Did she change her hair color a lot? Because when I
Yes.
kept seeing her, it was like red and blonde and brown and like, and it was
Those
like
are
blue.
the
And like
exact
she just took me
colors.
through this cornucopia of that. How old was she?
When she passed, this was shortly after her 29th birthday, so she was 30. But
Okay.
she was
But
young though.
was there some immaturity on her part if she was 30?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is her. She literally just showed me that the family really helped with the child, how much she was grateful for them, but they wouldn't know that. She said she wanted to primarily say
Yeah.
thank you so much, just thank you, thank you, thank you. She did.
Yeah.
Would your sister and daughter take any responsibility for her transition?
Yes. Yeah.
She did. Okay,
said-
so this young lady did. It felt very much like a spur of the moment type thing. But again, the gratitude, and she kept showing me she's let all of that go. I'm not going to say the bad word that she did, but it starts with an SH and it ends with a T. She's let all of that go. She said she's really focused. She's showing me watching over the child and the family. And then she showed me these twinkling lights around the house. So I don't know if any of you have had experiences of visually seeing her. Have you? Or
My my youngest, she actually has another son. He's our oldest. He's 11 now. He actually physically saw her after she passed.
I believe that. I literally believe that, because when they used to show me that like sparkly lights, that's how my sign for kind of that other people see them the way that I do. She there's just this beauty and grace with her, and maturity. She said to let everybody know she's so mature now. Just this tremendous amount of love. Was she kind of a big TV person?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
she would say, yeah, she loved doing that.
She showed me her laying on the couch, and then she showed me on the shows that she watched. Now listen, I will watch anything Real Housewives that come on. So she and I talked a little bit about that. But
yeah, she was in
really
reality shows.
She likes them as well too. Yeah, she is just doing beautifully, and the gratitude from this young woman for how the family has. I don't even want to go stepped up with her kids, because it really felt like that's what's been going on even when she was here. But just the gratitude for that. And she knew people could get annoyed with her because she said she wasn't particularly motivated, but she wants me to share with you how motivated she is now. And if there are two children, I apologize. She really just showed me that she is like eyeballing. I mean, just always there. And then she talked about how smart the kid. Her children very bright.
Oh yeah. The little one, he's almost a year and a half. He is so smart, and oh my gosh, he's climbing on things now like crazy.
She's right here. So is the 11-year-old, is he been reading for a long time?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I mean, please know she is with the children. She's with all of you. She just sends tremendous amount of love. And I think that was very hard for her to express here. Any kind of thank yous. It might have just went, like, it was expected. She said it was just kind of expected that they do it. So she was not grateful here. And she is tremendously grateful. Tremendously grateful.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. Yeah. We just have been suffering so much. She passed away in March, and
she was actually 5 months when she did pass. She was 5 months pregnant.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will, let me add this, because I don't really get to say this a lot in this forum. When I see very bright lights over there, again, because that's the only place where I really can make out features of people, they'll show me a very bright light with a little heartbeat in the middle. That's only and ever my sign for miscarriage, termination, stillbirth, things like that. So I cannot promise you I saw that around your daughter. No joke, there was over 200 people in spirit here about an hour ago, but I know I saw that light. I can't tell you, I cannot swear to you it was by your daughter, but I'm pretty sure that it was. So when they show me that, that is just my way of knowing that they have those souls there with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we understand.
I'm so sorry for your pain that you're going through. I really, do you have like Olin Mills style pictures of your daughter up in your house?
What was it?
I'm sorry, do we have what?
Do you have like portrait pictures of your daughter? You know,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because she's showing me her pictures on the wall as well too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we have a big picture of her hanging up right behind us.
It almost look, I'm going to say Olin Mills just because I'm dating myself with that, but it really kind of looked like a J.C. Penney's or an Olin Mills photo. And again, just the gratitude.
Penny's photo downstairs.
Was she close to her dad?
No, not he passed away as well 10 years ago.
The only other thing, sorry for interrupting, the only other thing she was telling me that I forgot to write down was something about how much she loves her dad where she is. She loves her dad where she is. So that kind of makes sense that he's in spirit as well too.
Yes.
Yeah, because when they were both, of course, alive, they didn't have the best terms.
Well, I don't find any of that over there. I mean, personality still kind of remains, and I think we get to work things out if there's any issues between us, but she's doing beautifully, absolutely just beautifully. And please kiss the children for her and hug yourselves.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Very welcome. I've got another young lady. Okay. This one, I got a word and I'm not, so she felt under 22 to me, but I could put her really at 19 to 22. She does take responsibility for her passing. And she said, this is the second Christmas they're without me, or this is the second Christmas. And this was hilarious to me. This girl had an attitude when she was here. She said, I could slam a door, a mean door. She said, I could slam a door like nobody else. And I think literally it reverberated through the house when anybody connect with this young woman?
Let's see, my daughter Tristan, my second Christmas, big, let's see, big a tight. Let's see, no. Michelle is saying she needs more. Okay.
So I'm not certain of this because there were so many people around that young lady. Anyone have describe this whose daughter was adopted?
Adopted, okay.
Because I know there was somebody over there that was talking about adopted, but they were very close to this young lady and I'm just not sure.
Okay, so Lee Ann is saying my daughter Madison 19 second Christmas. So is this was Madison adopted? Leanne, could you let us know? And then Roseanne is saying me. So
I really think
Roseanne's daughter was.
I mean, she was very, I think adoption would fit with this young girl.
okay, so Roseanne, was your daughter adopted?
Yes, I've asked her to unmute.
Okay, good. So
Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, Roseanne.
Hi.
Hi. Have
Hi,
we spoken
Isabella.
before, Roseanne?
Yes, we have.
I really believe this is your daughter because I kind of recognized her. I really think it is. She is doing incredibly well, just incredibly. I mean, she talked about taking ownership in her behavior. She said that she would kind of drive everyone crazy with her moods. She'd go into a room and like slam the door and everybody was like, what the heck just happened? So they got used to it. But she understands that behavior. She understands that. Almost felt like anger was her go-to, but she said, no, yes, that's how it would perceive, but like she couldn't work her emotions. She just couldn't speak about what she was feeling real well. She knew all of love. And I think she showed me a sister. Does she have a sister?
She has a sister.
That she just loved.
I don't know if you've read me before, so we've talked.
I kind of recognized the young lady, but I wasn't really sure. I mean, I apologize. I don't ever remember the clients. I remember the people in spirit. That's who I really kind of remember. But she is just, how are you doing? Is it easier for you this year?
No, it's worse for me this year. And I'm actually going through some, feeling some anger that I thought was, that I thought I worked through those things, and it's been very hard.
I remember when somebody told me that I would be angry at my daughter, and I yelled at that person. Like I got mad at that person because I was like, no, how could I ever be? And then it showed up. It really did show up, and it's okay. I mean, that is, I think, a normal, encouraging sign for me when people kind of move in that direction. It's inevitable for us all. It doesn't always come out with us throwing things or breaking things, but it should come out, even if it's a frustration that they're not here or why, or we're watching their friends or siblings do things that we feel that they should have done too. I mean, I got to say this. She was able to describe her moods to me and talk about the emotions and go through everything and talk about how much she was wanted. And that she didn't really feel that when she was here. She said she heard it and she saw it, but she said, I know it now. She said, I know how much I was wanted. She said she was the difficult one. And she said, I thought maybe because I was the difficult one, that's why I had such a hard time. She goes, now I understand. This was just a little bit different for me. She said, I didn't know how to process those emotions. She just talked about the second Christmas and how much she would be there, how much she loved everybody. Hold on. Do you have another dog in spirit?
I do. Yes.
She said to tell you she's got the dog. Sorry, she's talking to me over there. She said, I just saw the dog walk over here. And she said she's to tell you she's got the dog. And I will say this. She wants me to tell you, I love you, Mom.
Thank you.
She's crying too, but it's not a boo-hoo. It's this. Thank you. Thank you. She said, thank you. Like she said, I know she was loved even when it was really hard. Now she's kind of got she wasn't always liked, she said, but I was always loved. And she says, thank you. Is that her dad?
That's her dad.
Please
Yeah.
tell her how much she loves him.
Cassie loves you.
And like, I think she's going, this is the one that she could kind of wrap around her little finger a little bit. She
Absolutely.
loves him very much.
Yes, absolutely.
And would you please give her sister a hug for her?
I
Does
will.
her sister have like a necklace of hers or somebody kind of?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, she said, like, keep that on, keep that. Sorry,
She
I'm
actually-
not looking at her and she's yelling at me, giving me messages to say.
Well,
So-
she's in Italy right now, her sister is studying abroad, and she has Cassie's ear necklace on. I was talking to her today for like 2 hours on FaceTime. So
Well, let her sister know that her sister knows that she's got that. And she just, I remember the first time I spoke with your daughter, there was a little roughness to her, but I asked that they
absolutely.
show me how they were here. Now, I don't want you to think for a second that anyone struggles over there, because that's just never been anything that I found. But I would feel very comfortable saying to you, she's done the life review. She's in such a good space, such a good space, such a good space.
it's good. I'm happy for that.
Do you get a newspaper? Do you get a newspaper delivered?
No, but we had her in an article in a newspaper that I have.
Okay, she's
It was
just
an
talking about the
article.
newspaper. Mention the newspaper.
I
mention
know
the newspaper.
exactly what she's talking
Okay.
about. It's on my chair.
Okay.
I
And like,
started a
literally, I do
nonprofit.
not even want to stop looking at you because she's telling me to like kiss you all over. Like, there needs to be affection coming here, because she said she wasn't able to do that. She wasn't able to do that. Like, I want to do that. She said, but there's something literally holding me back. I'm afraid. Like, I was afraid to be vulnerable. So there's this tough exterior.
Yeah.
Your
Absolutely.
daughter knows she was loved. I mean, seriously, what else can we ask for? We want everything for our children, but that they know that they're loved. I can't really think of a bigger gift.
She struggled with that. She wrote that in her note. She had said that logically she knew that she was loved, but she could never feel that. And I've been told that she can feel it now. The minute she crossed over.
Well, I can validate that for you, that that's the experience she's giving me, and that she is in just such a beautiful place, such a beautiful place. And I can talk to you 30 years from now and your daughter will still know what's going on in your life. I mean, I'm not going to be here in 30 years, but you can find me over there and I'll have a conversation with you and your dog. I mean, there are some people that I talk to in spirit that you just know, oh my gosh, they're never going to back off an inch, a millimeter here.
I don't think she's going to back off from you because she has bothered you before. Like,
well, I need you to hear how much she is grateful to you and how much she loves you so much, and that she's sorry that she wasn't able to express that when she was here. So I hope that helps. And
thank you.
I pray for everybody in these groups. I really do. I have a big prayer, and I will hold you and your family up as well too.
Thank you,
If
Isabella.
I can help you in the future, just let me know. Okay.
All right.
Got a couple
Thank
more
you.
that I want to get to real quick.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I have a male here. I've got 4 more that I want to get to before I look at the wall. I've got a male. He felt young to me. I'm going to put him under 20. I think he was still in high school. He showed me a car accident, but huge family support. So I think with this young man's game, like the whole family would go to see everything that he did. Anyone connect with this? I'd probably safely put him at 17, 18, maybe 19. Again, I do not think this is going to be accurate what I'm saying, but when they show me a Letterman jacket, if anybody's my age or older, you'll know what that is. That to me kind of indicates a lot of sports are very athletic. Anybody connect with this?
Yes, Gail is saying that she has a son who was 17 when he passed in a car accident, her son Connor. So she believes it's her son Connor.
Okay.
Could we, Gail?
Oh my gosh. Did she just write a bunch of 12s on there?
That's Laura. Laura says Connor. So these are 2 Connors actually. Was 20.
So here's my scribbly notes, but look what's beside my scribbly note. 12.
Okay, so maybe this is actually Laura then.
Lara Thompson, is that?
Yeah, Thompson.
Elizabeth?
I'm sorry, Gail. Because he's also.
If these are very close to each other, this message might apply for both moms.
Yeah, it might apply for both of them, but could you?
I asked Lara to unmute.
Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi. So you have a
Hi.
son in spirit about that age, 17, 18, 19?
I do, but he was, and that's why I want to be very careful about this other mum's Connor. My Connor was 20. He was
Okay.
a junior in college.
Okay.
He passed just less than a year, just less than a year ago. I just want to be they're both Connors, which I think is really interesting.
But was your son very big into athletics? Was that a huge part of his life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because he looked like if there was a sport, this kid was out playing it. Was everyone in your family kind of attending those events or very supportive of these events with him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like it just felt like a family affair. And again, he showed me a very close family bond. So if this is for you or the other mom, it's going to be pretty much like the love and the gratitude for like if this kid got a basket in a hoopie or I don't freaking know sports, but like everybody would be cheering. Maybe there's times, and I think the mom that was screaming was just the loudest voice out there. And like he kept showing me looking up and always knowing I would see family there. Just a tremendous amount of love. The gratitude and the grace of this young man. Such a nice kid. Absolutely. Just such a really felt he was probably pretty good student. I don't know that was his best thing because sports really seems to be where he's like, but probably a good solid B, maybe a C student. Like just well liked, well respected. The thing that showing me all of that, and then he said it was fast. It was fast. It was fast. So was this fast?
Very fast.
Like because one thing that is easy, I don't know if it's easy for me, but because we did not know how my daughter died for 10 years. It was sudden unexplained child death. So for every parent, for everybody, I'm always looking because I'm always assuming everybody wants the same information that I do. So that's kind of an area where I will focus and get rather accurate information. He kind of wanted to bypass all of that. He showed me card. He said it was so fast. Told him I didn't feel anything. Yeah. It was just, he said here and then over there. Does he have a grandmother in spirit?
He does not. No, he does not.
Does the other, don't go. Does the other Connor have a grandmother in spirit?
Let's jump if we do.
It's okay. Sometimes they'll write it on. He did show me a maternal lady with him that was there. As soon as he got over there, I wasn't confused. Like I knew everything. And again, he just wanted to really speak of the love and the gratitude for the family.
If there was a grandmother, it would be he was most like my mother or is like my mother. But I will tell you, since he passed, she is completely shut down. I don't know what's going on. She has Parkinson's. She's gone. I feel like she's gone as well. But if the other mother has a maternal, but this is maternal on my mother's side. So Lilia,
I don't get that information because I don't look for names. I just look, if they show me a couple people around them, I'll get a sense if that person feels maternal. It's a mother or grandmother. And then I'll start talking it more. He just showed me a lady being there that felt very maternal to me, recognized this woman and just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And then he showed me trying to get something out of his car and realizing, oh, okay, I can't do that anymore, he said. But just completely, just had a huge smile on his face the entire, great teeth, like really good smile with this kid, just like a toothpaste commercial. I just really enjoy this kid. And the only messages that he wanted me to say, so either to you or the other mom, is how grateful he was, how much he was loved, and just how well he's doing over there now. And I think people, whoever this young man is, I think people might have awards of his or sports achievements, like paper. He showed me just things that were saved from his athletic years.
Thank you.
Well, okay, you're very welcome. I hope that helped.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so the next one, female young, I did her. So I've got a 15 to 16-year-old female. She could be 14. I don't want to put her much past that. She's talked, and again, I think this was certainly during COVID or because she talked about the isolation. She was a moody girl as well too. she would also take some responsibility for her passing. Anyone connect with this young lady? Music seemed to be big to her. She showed me earphones on, kind of sitting in her room. It felt like, I wrote down moody music. I didn't recognize a lot of it, but she kept talking about the music and she just kind of isolated herself away. I would say this feels fairly recent, certainly in the last 18, 19 months, probably. Or how long has COVID been? Like 20 months, maybe. So that 13-year-old, that might be it. Because this was a young girl. I really struggled to put her at 14, 15, 16, but I did. She felt very, anyone connect with, I'm sorry, I don't have more descriptive information about her. Again, they isolating, and she's showing me kind of, you know, the room looked like a gypsy's room. I don't know what I'm saying, but it was kind of, there was dark in the room. It kind of was very moody, like what you would say moody. And music, again, was very important to her. I think there might have been some casual drug use with this young lady. It might have also been confused that this was an overdose or suicide. And she was, I couldn't tell which one this was, but she showed me those two things with her. And I think she had really good makeup skills, which is something she and I do not share. But again, she really just, you have any clue who this young girl is?
It sounds like a lot of people are identifying. My daughter was
The one, I'm just trying to think of anything she showed me that might make this unique. It kind of smelled like incense around her. I'm not saying cigarette smoke because that wasn't it. Maybe she smoked, but it really kind of felt more like an incense.
Okay. So we have, yes, we have Louise saying my daughter was buried with headphones in a room a lot. David is saying, yes, that's Audrey. Mel is saying
The incense. Did someone identify with the incense?
Okay, David did. Yeah, David said we bought incense shortly before. So maybe it's David because he
David,
had already.
could you and I speak just for a minute?
Yeah, let's go for David if we can, Irene.
Sure. I asked him to unmute.
Okay, great.
And I think the parent would kind of try to engage her, and she just showed me just kind of pouty. Again, I'm going to put her 13, 14, 15, 16. That's at 16 is just too old. I really feel probably
David,
14,
can you
15.
see?
Hi, David.
Hi, it's David's wife, Selena. Audrey's mum.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. What's
Does
that?
it sound like your daughter?
Yes, Audrey, even though Audrey was 17 at the time, she was very young. She didn't want to grow up. It was one of the things she really struggled with.
She just kept showing me this, like, she felt like such a little girl. I mean, as I was,
Yeah.
I looked at her and saw, okay, you're a young lady.
Yeah.
But there was nothing about her behavior that felt like a young lady to me. It all felt much more juvenile. I don't want to give immaturity to that word, but she just showed me, I think maybe not wanting to grow up would be the better way to do it. And the drugs felt kind of exploratory or just questioning on that. Again, the moodiness, I wouldn't be surprised if this young girl wrote poetry or she had like a poet's or artist heart from what she was showing me. That sound like your daughter?
Audrey wrote amazing poetry. She was an incredible artist. There was no drug use. She wasn't interested in drugs. She wasn't immature. She was highly intelligent, won so many awards every year, academic excellence. So she wasn't immature, but she was young and didn't really want to grow up. She had so many stuffed toys. And then towards the end, she reverted back to reading children's books.
Okay. Did she have anything kind of draped on her ceiling at all, or?
Yes, she had a flag, and she also had vines. You know those.
This
vines?
is her then, because I remember so clearly her showing me things kind of draped off the wall, the ceiling, things like that. She just, you know, the way that I viewed her, the way that she came across is, again, I'm using words that I'm not particularly comfortable with the definition. So childlike, but she just did seem like a child to me, a young lady, but a child. but the depth, she felt very deep to me. It felt kind of like old soul.
Yes.
And just the creative sense with her.
Yes.
She was showing me, here's your message. She was just showing me all of this creative, it felt murals and all of this writing, and she could do music over there. She really seems to be just having a tremendous time exploring that part of herself. She talked about wanting to connect more deeply with everyone here, and she felt that what she left behind was able to do that. Does that help at all?
Audrey and I, we painted 3 of her walls in murals. They're really incredible. There were rainbows and mushrooms and smiley faces and cow prints.
I would bet
and
your daughter is helping you with that project, because again, it literally looked like these tapestries that she could just go, and it was effortless for her. Just boom. I mean, just beautiful. And she is really doing very well, very, very well. The depth is still there. She showed me the depth of her soul and her personality and the things that she loved. There's a real gentleness with her. I think she could sometimes have a jaded view of things, and I feel that she was a huge empath, though, that she was kind of feeling what everyone else was feeling. She said she was working on that, or she wasn't working. She was exploring that part of herself a little bit. And again, just speaking about the love and the gratitude for that.
She was a very big empath. You couldn't hide anything from Audrey. If you were like, say unhappy or wanted to hide it, she would know straight away. There was no hiding any emotion from Audrey. What I struggle with, of course, is why did she leave?
I can't answer that question. My understanding and my belief, I believe that when we do the life planning to come here, that there are things that we want to experience or accomplish. And then we get here and sometimes we find that we feel as though we've maybe bitten off a bit too much, or maybe we've not listened to the advice of everyone over there. Oh, maybe don't be an empath and an intuitive, or try to do, and we don't have to listen, or we can't. And we come in and some people need 20 years, some people need 2 weeks, some people need 100 years. Everyone needs a different amount of time to have these experiences and to fulfill for their soul. That's really my sense with your daughter, is that she accomplished what she needed to do. She doesn't have regrets. She says she doesn't have regrets. She has regrets about the way things ended, but she does not have regrets about the way that she lived her life, the depth and what she felt when she was here. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, she obviously she felt very deeply. I mean, she felt so deeply. I feel like she couldn't stay much longer. She cared about everyone. She was a social issues.
Right. It almost seems painful for that to be around any, even good emotions she was showing me. I would feel those in a way that would make me melancholy about that, because those were not my emotions, and not envy or disdain for another, but it was just everything was felt with just extra. I mean, there was just so much around what she was showing me. And I need to tell you, she said that continues over there. It seems like a much easier environment there for her to have those experiences, but she's able to not personalize it as much now. That seems to be a big growth for her, she said.
Did she know how much we love her? Does she know how much we love her? Does she know?
I have not done my job if I have not expressed that to you. I'm being very conservative here. I came up to my office at 7 p.m. I'm Eastern time, because I couldn't just stay downstairs anymore because there were so many people. When I get up to my office, there's area in this direction.
My name is Elizabeth Wessel, and I teach.
There are so many young people here, and the message from most of these people today is just the gratitude and how much they love and how much they knew they were loved.
And she's okay now. She's good now.
I only see people that are okay. And not that everyone that I see is absolutely okay. I know where they are. And I think she will help you find her.
I asked her to come today because I've been really struggling obviously ever since, but it does get harder. It doesn't get easier. And so I said, can you please come today? I just need to hear from you. I need to know you're okay. And I need to know you're with me. Is she with me?
Were you a very good listener to her?
Yes, I
She said,
thought
well,
I
that's what she's
was.
saying now. Like you could just listen to her. You listen to her. You like, I don't feel pressured by you. I feel inquisitive, but not particularly. That seems to be something she's very grateful for too. The listening, the way that you just absorbed it. Again, I don't know how long ago did your daughter transition?
June.
Okay,
So
so
let's-
you know, 5.5 months, 5 months.
Yeah.
You are at the very beginning of this. The next 19 months are just going to be challenging. I promise you this, it does get easier, and you do find ways to connect with them. They help. They really are the impetus for a lot of that. And for myself, I know that I struggled to find my daughter the first year, and I see people immediately after they pass, like immediately. My pain was so heavy. My grief was so heavy, but my daughter was still there. I just couldn't feel her for a while. Please know that your daughter has such a strong drive to connect with you. I just can't imagine that this would be challenging. I'm so sorry for your pain.
Does she have a message for me?
I think the message was how much she loves you.
Thank you.
And the gratitude and the listening and the artwork. She says the artwork as well too.
We always did art together, always. It was just our thing.
Did you ever paint rocks?
Yes.
Okay, she says she likes the painted rocks the best. Like that was a fun one. That was fun.
Well, look, we painted almost anything, Isabella, but rocks was something we did during lockdown, and yeah, we're
Did she have a
used
hard
to it.
time with that isolation?
Very.
Yeah, because I was kind of surprised when I mean, literally, that's one of the things I wrote down. The isolation was hard for her because she felt, yeah, you know, that felt like a comfort. It felt like being away from a great deal of people was maybe easier for her. So, you know, errors are Isabella's. They're never theirs. They're just my not understanding that. But she did mention the isolation was challenging for her.
She's an only child, so she only really had us, and we were in Australia, so we spent Audrey spent 6 months in lockdown where we couldn't have people over, you couldn't go in anywhere. It was just like very hard lockdown.
Okay.
We went in, we went out, we went in, and it was difficult.
I you know, a lot of people have died in the last 2 years because of COVID. A lot of people have exited, and that's a hard thing for those of us left behind. And not everybody's gone from COVID. You know, there's been a lot of people continue to leave their body. It's just been a little uptick in that. I have found that I've noticed a little bit difference in the last year and a half. The gratitude that I'm hearing about from people in spirit, seriously, just so grateful for their experience here in life, in a body, the family, that people that knew and loved them. That's really your daughter's experience as well too. Okay.
Thank you, Isabella.
You're very
Thank you for
welcome. You're welcome.
coming.
And I have one more that I want to get to real quickly. And I'm sorry this was a little bit different because normally I'm looking in this direction and it's people coming, but I needed to slow it down a little bit for today. So let's see. I've got a male. I'm going to put him at 25 to 30, but I definitely know this young man was under 30 or like right on the cusp of 30. This was really funny as he kept describing himself. He said he argued with everybody, argued. You really couldn't tell him anything. He said he knew everything there was to know. He said it could come out sometimes angrily. He didn't mean it to be angry. He said he could sometimes be short-tempered. Anyone connect with this young male?
Sherry is saying that's my son Gordon, and Vicky is saying that's my son. Well, lots of people.
So the
far.
young lady, her earlier, who was showing me that she could slam a door, that's when I saw this young man. They were kind of having a competition as who could slam the doors the most, and it really kind of got like, they just showed me attitude, but they weren't bad. You know, they were just like, that was the way they communicate. Yes, no, I heard you, something like that.
Oh, wow. So many people.
And I would feel the only other thing I wrote about this, short-tempered, and I thought perhaps he had a lot of females in his family, just because he kind of showed me interacting with I think maybe he was babied a little bit. He kind of enjoyed that when he was little. He said not so much when he got older. I do that to all of my kids. So, I mean, shame on me for still doing that to a 40-year-old, but
so many people. So Sherry's saying,
I do think there might have been some some mental health issues with this young man as well too. I don't know if it felt maybe bipolar. I'm not going to get stuck on that, but it was, and
Okay. Stephanie's saying definitely my son. Angelina.
well,
saying-
here's the message. I'm going to pass it. He looked at me and he was looking at the young lady who was there, and they were both door slammers. And he just started laughing, and then he started crying, and then he started laughing. He goes, tell them I'm so sorry. Tell them I'm just so sorry. He goes, I love you so much. I really do love you. He said, I just didn't do a great job over here with my attitude. That was a big word for him, was attitude. But he just showed me the women in his life loved him. They would make excuses for it. Like, nobody could stay mad at this young man. I really think there was a sister, at least one sister, and I know he was just adored, and he just couldn't accept it.
Well,
and then he kept holding out his hand. He said, $20. So I think people still gave this young man cash occasionally.
I think lots of piggybacking was happening with him as well.
Yes.
And I just want to, before we go any further, I wanted to say that everyone's asking how far out you are for a reading. So is there anything you could?
I think March. I think in March, but I've taken off January because I'm going to go see my kids and kind of just travel around a bit. I might open up the last week in January. I have not let my assistant know yet, so please don't mention anything to her because I will let her know first. But yeah, I might open up that the last week in January.
And then also, I want for everyone who's gotten a reading today to email me at elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org if you'd like to be in the newsletter and tell me a little bit more about your reading, because it's always so much fun and so healing for other parents to be able to read about that. So I've put my email in there. Well, that's not right. I'm Elizabeth with a Z. There's no
And
Z.
sorry, Elizabeth, I'm going to interrupt just for a minute. If you did not get a message, please do not think that your child is not here. Serious to goodness, there's at least 220 people over here that I'm just not going to be able to get to. They show up. They know that you want to hear from them. They hear from you. Trust me, I will be hearing this all night long. I am off tomorrow morning. I planned that for a reason because I don't sleep the night after because they just keep talking and messages. So if I wish that I could do this for everybody here. I would love to do that. Time just does not permit it. But please don't think for a second that your kids did not hear your request for them to show up.
You are really so amazing. And I also just want to tell everyone who's going to be watching this after, because we really want to be able to make sure that everyone knows about our YouTube channel, to please subscribe, like what you've done tonight, what Isabella has done, and subscribe to our channel. We would just appreciate that so much. And I can tell you that Isabella, you have done just an amazing job tonight. What's so amazing is that I think that you were able to bring in a whole bunch of groups of boys and girls that were all very similar. And so many parents were touched by what you had to say tonight. So many parents were saying, that's definitely my son. That's definitely my daughter. So I truly appreciate it.
I know that to be true. I really, because when I see one person there, there's generally a group around them of people with the same or similar experiences. So like I said, I'm regretful that I could not pass along 220 plus messages tonight. I'm very sorry, but trust me, all of your kids are here, I promise.
And exactly, a validation for one of us is a validation for all of us. And I see people typing that in as well. And I truly appreciate all of you parents understanding that all of our kids work together to send these messages to us. And it's so exciting to get them. And it's so much fun to watch you work as well, Isabella. It's just, you're just such a huge bright light. Thank you so much.
Oh, hold on. One more quick one, because I know this young man over here. If Joanne is on this call, Michael is right here and he's asking if your feet feel better. Sorry, he was not going to let me not do that. There's something about her feet were bothering her or walking a lot. So I will just pass along, get your feet checked or get some new shoes or let Michael know your feet are okay. That's it for me, everybody.
That's so wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So grateful.
Well, yes, please, everyone unmute yourselves and say thank
Thank
you and
you.
good night to
Thank you,
Isabella. And we'll see you
Isabella.
tomorrow
Thank
night.
you.
Isabella's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Isabella.
You.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Thank you, Isabella.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank